Hey everybody, and welcome to Brews and Blockchain, and we are the Crypto Masters. You probably know us. My name's Ross.
And my name's Brian.
And, Brews and Blockchain's a certain segment of the Crypto Masters podcast where we really just talk about any and all things crypto, especially news and hot topics related. But
what's going on in crypto?
Yeah, what's going on in crypto, And one thing we have to say before we get started is this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. And, we typically focus on the long-term aspects of crypto. So
we
Brian,
do, but you know what? We're just talking crypto here.
We're just talking crypto over some brews.
Advice.
Yeah.
What's going on lately in crypto, Ross?
Well, Brian, one of the hot topics right now is the Ronin Network hack.
Yes.
The Ronin bridge. It's used by Axie Infinity, and it was a huge hack, very surprising, and the hackers stole over $600 million worth of crypto. I had the breakdown here. Yeah, so 173,000 Ethereum and 250 million USDC coin was stolen. And, if you're curious how this happened, the hacker gain access to the private keys of the validator nodes of the Ronin bridge. And I think they took over 4 out of the 6 validator nodes and, ran away with tons of crypto. And, this might be a lesson that, we always look at the validator nodes of various blockchains and stuff like that. And we love to see more validators, especially if it's going to be,
less
proof
centralized.
of stake. Yeah, and this one, Ronin Bridge has 6, so maybe that's just a lesson for you something to keep an
it's
eye
not
out
enough.
for. It's just not enough.
It's
exactly.
not.
Like if there was 100 validators and this hacker gained access to 4,
but right, it would be nothing.
It would be no
But
big
he's not
deal
going
at
to
all,
gain
but-
access to 51. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So, just
Well,
a
that's
lesson
interesting.
in decentralization.
I
Sure.
wonder when you hear about these hacks that have happened in the past, and especially when you get to this amount, is the hacker ever going to be able to really turn these into fiat? Because any movement is going to be known. I mean, and I don't know the details of this, but the nature of blockchain is you can see everything that happens with this. So I just don't know if they're actually going to be able to take advantage of it. They're going to have it somewhere in a wallet, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but when they move it or they try to do anything with it, boom, that's when I think they're going to get busted. Like we've seen recently. We talked about another Brews and Blockchain where the couple got busted when they tried to convert it to cash.
Well, no, that's a very good point, Brian. I mean, with all the transactions in various blockchain systems, with all of them being public, I guess you could argue in, Monero, you're encrypted, so it's harder to determine that. But with every transaction public, you may not know the person, because KYCs may not be in place, but you at least know the address of where in this case, Ether and USDC went from point A to point B.
They're going to be following
so,
that ETH and USDC wherever it goes. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know enough that I could pull it off, but I'll bet these people don't either. Although I don't know, you got to get it. They did the hack, which is pretty impressive. So maybe they know a lot, but still, it just doesn't seem to work out. I don't know.
Yeah, and this was, I'll link this in the description here, maybe throw it up behind me, but this is on Ronin's newsletter. As of 3/31, the investigation continues, and they can't share any more substantial evidence. But I've heard the founder and everything is kind of saying we're going to get everyone's funds returned if you had issues, and they have certain troubleshooting things you can do. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So and I think they noticed it when one user tried to transfer 5K Ether to a wallet, and he couldn't do it. And that's when alarm bells went off.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So I see they're saying today, meaning March 31st, we replaced all of the former Sky Mavis validators. And Sky Mavis is kind of the company that's over Axie Infinity, I think, right? We talked about Axie Infinity before being, really the first major play to earn crypto game, and it's
the leader, really.
The leader for sure is pretty huge. And you'd mentioned in our our podcast that we did on Illuvium for the Crypto Masters. Maybe it's an opportunity for Illuvium or some other play to earn games to to maybe take advantage of this opportunity of a problem by Axie Infinity.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any numbers on this of people leaving Axie Infinity, but certainly people that are attempting to get into Axie Infinity, this could be a warning sign or a barrier for them not wanting to get it. Picking another game, maybe like Peg Axie, which you've talked about. I don't know, but
I've looked into Peg Axie. I thought about getting on Peg Axie, but then I decided maybe not. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you and I are both looking into some play to earn games to sort of really get involved in. So maybe on another Brews and Blockchain, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, and maybe eventually we'll do some, we really want to hit crypto gaming hard. We think that's a big future in crypto, but maybe we'll do some kind of Twitch live streaming of some gameplays, or we'll post those on the podcast or results of that. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I think we need to. All right, let's move on. Next topic. Okay, maybe we're kind of like the mainstream media here. We're only bad news, but the second topic we're going to talk about is the European Parliament this week they voted to require KYC for crypto transactions and voted to ban transfers to unhosted wallets. Again, this is the stuff that we've heard before. Various governments considering this, and most of us in the crypto industry think it's a really bad idea. I think it would be really bad for innovation in the EU, and really bad for crypto owners' privacy. People like their privacy in the EU. So, and I'm no expert on the EU's governance. It seems very complicated, but. My understanding is the European Parliament just sort of voted to pass this, but it still has to go to the EU countries and it has to go through the EU Council. So maybe it's like the House passing a bill here in the United States. It still has to go through the Senate. And a lot of times at that stage, there's changes made. And as I understand it, that's what could happen to this. I don't know if it's a bill, it's probably not the right term, but, there still could be some changes, still could be salvaged, but it was very bad news, really, in general for crypto. And I think we saw that reflected in the price of crypto. Bitcoin came down a couple $1,000s, and, a lot of the rest of the market followed, 5% or 4% or 6% drop. So all of that, I think, was because of this, because, let's face it, the EU is a huge market. And if they're going to have, restrictions, which people aren't comfortable with, it could, have a really big impact. But hopefully, the people of Europe will, get more involved in telling their legislators that this is a bad idea and explain it to them.
Yeah, and Brian, maybe this doesn't make any sort of sense, but it's shocking, but in a way not surprising. I feel as though governments are, when you get that high up, they know the term, KYC, know your customer, and they just think that's the gold standard.
Oh,
and
let's
that's
just do it. If we have KYC, there won't be any more money laundering, I guess is the point. But.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. They think that's the answer to everything. And, I feel like they misunderstood the foundation of blockchain, really. You know, every transaction's public. Maybe you just know it's a address XYZ to ABC, but you still know it's there and you can track it and everyone can see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I see, like you're going into your bank, right? And hey, I'd like to withdraw 5,000 euro from my account, please. I'm not sure what accent this is, but
I was trying to think of what it was, but yeah.
Bloody well, give me my 5,000 euros right now. And
almost was Icelandic for a second.
Hey man, it's a mishmash. But and so your teller says, "Oh, what are you going to do with this? What do you want it for?" And I'm thinking, none of your business, But I might say something like, "Oh, hey, just need a little cash." And no, really, I need to know who's getting this and what are you going to do? Why?
Yeah.
Well, none of your business. Maybe I have a gambling problem. None of your business. You care,
Yeah.
It's kind of like what it is.
Or you want to buy a car, like just
Right.
everyday thing. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, privacy at some level. I think we all agree, okay, we don't want any tax evasion. We don't want any money laundering, but that's not what this is about. That's not going to help with this. It's not going to help with those problems, this rule or regulation that they have. To me, it's just an unnecessary violation of people's privacy, and I think we're all getting sick of that.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like, crypto and Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, is kind of the scapegoat of money laundering. And really, if you think about it, it seems like a worse vehicle than traditional cash to launder money. I mean, it's public transactions, I don't know.
Traditional cash seems like it would be easy to money launder. I know it's not.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really get the details because it does seem easy. It's, it's pretty anonymous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, yes, and like we said before, the blockchain, is permanent. There's a record there, and I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I've KYC'd for my exchanges. I mean, we're Americans, it's on the exchange. We sort of have to, unless you're going to do the whole VPN bit, which I haven't. I mean, I don't mind doing my KYC for the exchange. I guess I'd rather not, but I did, and so. I'm not getting away with anything. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it. But again, I think it's just bad legislation. I think legislators don't understand it. And, some do. And those who do, are against this kind of thing. So hopefully the EU over there in Europe, you'll get this fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what else? Let's see.
Do we have any happy news, Brian?
Yeah.
Anything good?
Maybe. I guess this is happy.
Okay.
This weekend, the 19 millionth Bitcoin was mined, and as you probably know, there will only ever be 21 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, out of 21 million, 19 have already been mined. Do the math. That's a high percentage.
Oh, yeah.
So, the point is there are just not that many left. There's, frankly, 2 million left to be mined, and those are actually going to be mined over the next 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
But, as you know, with the halving roughly every 4 years, it's just going to go down, and at some point in the next 12 or 16 or 20 years, it's going to get down to a really small number. I mean, the next halving is in 2024, and then the Bitcoin mining reward will be 3.125, because right now it's 6.5. Or no, 6.25, sorry. So, it's running out. We're running out of new Bitcoin. So, everybody out there who wants to get some better get some.
And I know a lot of people talk about, what's going to dethrone Bitcoin as the, top cryptocurrency and market cap. But hey, I still, I'm curious too, but it's still looking, Bitcoin remains the gold standard in crypto, and it's still at the top. We've got the Lightning Network, even supercharging Bitcoin. Well, depending on how you feel about it.
But, if you didn't have the Lightning Network, you had the digital gold aspect of Bitcoin, which I think is very real, and we're sort of seeing more and more, recent events showing the value of that. Of a gold or of a store of value other than a fiat currency. We're seeing that with inflation. We're seeing that with the central bank shenanigans. We're seeing that with Russian sanctions. There's just a whole the value of Bitcoin is being demonstrated as a store of value. But also, like you said, the other aspect of that is the Lightning Network, which does enable it to be used, as a currency. And we're seeing that in El Salvador.
Oh, yeah.
And then if that spreads and takes off, Bitcoin just really could go crazy. I don't know. I mean, I love the smart contracts and, ETH and Cardano and the others that added extra things to that, the smart contract aspect. There's always going to be a role for Bitcoin, and whether it's always on top or not doesn't really even matter.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah, if it slips from number one, that's
It just means something else has done great, and
Yeah.
so why do we care? I mean, I have Bitcoin. You own Bitcoin. I'm gonna own Bitcoin.
yeah.
So whether it stays number one or not doesn't matter to me. Only if you're some maxi, with some ideological that everything else sucks, which I think is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't care. I hope Bitcoin continues to do well. If something else, if ETH, really takes off after its transition to proof of stake and goes even higher, what do I care? As long as Bitcoin's still doing well, it doesn't matter. But that's my opinion. Others differ, I guess.
And hey, in 5 years, having at least one Bitcoin is going to be such a huge bragging right. I'm hodling. I'm not releasing any. I've got my Bitcoin holdings. That's one thing I'm just not touching.
Well, and I saw some tweets. So. I think it was Lark Davis, the crypto Lark, who's he's on crypto Twitter and also YouTuber. Seems like a knowledgeable guy. His point was, if every millionaire tried to buy one Bitcoin, they couldn't. They could only, every millionaire could only own like a fraction of a Bitcoin. Which just goes to show you like how scarce they're going to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's move on. One more topic. What do you think? Got time for one more?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We're running low. So maybe the big news, I think, of recent, it's not that recent, but over the past few weeks, has been Terra announced that they are buying up to $10 billion of BTC.
That's billion.
Yeah, as backing for their stablecoin Luna, I guess. Is it Luna?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Anyways,
or of course, yeah.
So they've already bought more than $1 billion, I think. In fact, I think I saw they own more than I guess Elon with Tesla, and maybe more than MicroStrategy. I'm not sure if they're there
I
yet.
I haven't seen the ranking, but this purchase is.
I mean, well, obviously the 10 billion will be the most.
Yeah,
right? When they get there, and they haven't said the time frame for that. But I think they've said 3 billion is going to be, relatively soon. They're not, obviously, for their own sake, they're not announcing the time frame, but they were buying regularly, daily, and then they paused and stuff because they don't want the price to go up too much when they're buying it. But this is kind of huge. Well, it is very huge. I mean, at some point they're going to own more than everybody other than Satoshi, and Satoshis may or may not ever be used or found or located. They could be lost, but that's just a huge thing, and it may. I mean, it's a great idea. It's kind of like MicroStrategy, right? Their whole thing is, we're going to own as much of this as possible on our balance sheet because nothing else is going to perform like it. And, if that's the case with Bitcoin and then Terra's stablecoin, it's going to be set. And in fact, Luna, the price of Luna has gone crazy. So, it's already sort of having some payback for that. From that standpoint.
Yeah, and you mentioned MicroStrategy. I want to bring this up too. They just opened up a loan to even buy more Bitcoin. So
I know.
It's
it is nuts.
The acquiring they're doing of Bitcoin is wild.
You've seen this. It's almost a meme now, where as an interview with Saylor, where he's saying, if you basically do everything you can to buy more Bitcoin. If you got equity in your house, mortgage it and buy Bitcoin. If you got a business and you can get a loan, get the loan and buy Bitcoin. I mean, he's crazy, but I don't know. I shouldn't say that. He's convinced.
He's passionate.
He's passionate, and is he puts his money where his mouth is. Like, he does what he says.
And just those statements by Saylor, I would love to just see. I don't know if many of you know of Dave Ramsey, kind of like the financial guru for the. I don't know if you want to say the millennial generation, talking about, savings and, all this stuff. He's very anti-crypto, and I would love for them to sit down and just get to talking, because I feel like Dave Ramsey's head would literally explode if he said, take out a loan, and buy more Bitcoin. So I would love to see that. I don't know. Maybe we organize that.
Maybe. But, and then maybe other stable coins might, want to have BTC as an asset backing it. They're sort of getting away. We have the USDC and Tether, that are simply tied to a fiat, like US dollar, and supposedly they're backed by dollar or dollar equivalents. There's some question about Tether. But, then we're seeing these other kinds of stable coins that aren't tied to a specific fiat currency. And, if more of those are backed, at least in part by BTC, that could be another, drive in the demand for BTC.
Exactly. Yeah. And, all these, we've talked about like crypto gaming hedge funds, or just crypto hedge funds in general. I mean, buying more Bitcoin just sounds like the right play, right?
Well, and, we were hoping that more public companies like Tesla would put it on their balance sheet. And that hasn't really happened as much as it looked like it might when MicroStrategy was having its conferences and telling people about it. But, maybe it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
All right, Ross, I think, we need to get back to some brews, and maybe we'll call it an episode, and we'll be back next time with another Brews and Blockchain.
Yeah, tune back in, guys. We'll keep you posted with all news and topics in crypto. And check out our socials below in the banner below. Follow us, like, comment, subscribe, and check out thecryptomasters.com for all your crypto needs. Your crypto one-stop shop.
Nice. All right. Thanks, everybody.